In case it's not obvious, I am a huge fan of the Alien franchise. To me, part of the allure is not only that there are 6 awesome films to draw from, but there is a depth of expanded universe material that any sci-fi fan would be jealous of. Recently, I was going through a bunch of my Alien paraphernalia when I noticed that most of the extended universe material, such as the books, comics, and video games, for the most part use the Aliens title from the second film and not Alien. This got me thinking, is there an Alien universe and an Aliens universe? And I'm not talking about what is and what isn't canon either. I fully understand that everything I'm about to discuss falls under one Alien franchise, and even though it's most likely a simple marketing deal, I thought it would be fun to take a look at all of the media within the Alien series to see if it really could be broken into an Alien and Aliens universe that would both coexist in the same place. So without further delay, let's dive in and take a look at what I've grouped into the Alien universe. The birthplace of the entire franchise. The Alien universe is one of darkness and claustrophobia. From the wind-blasted, black goo-tested moon of LV-426 to the storm-riddled planet of Fury 161, there are no welcome environments here. While other space-based films were going for a cleaner, more sterilized environment, Alien would go in the opposite direction, looking for a more realistic approach. The Nostromo wasn't designed to look cool, like most spacecraft of other sci-fi franchises. It didn't have an aerodynamic shape to it. That's nonsense for a ship that spends its time outside of the atmosphere. It was shaped like a city, complete with huge buildings and vast Gothic-style holding rooms for their precious cargo, mining ore. It was dirty, run down, used and lived in. These weren't astronauts per se, more like truckers in space. This world is one heavily influenced by H.R. Giger, and that isn't by mistake either. H.R. did most of the Alien set designs and constructions for the 1979 film, crafting the full-grown xenomorph, the ovomorph, the derelict craft and pilot, along with the surface of LV-426 itself. While he wasn't properly utilized and credited for his work on Alien 3, it was his idea for a new look on the Alien that brought us the runner, and the whole genre of aliens mimicking the stance of their host. The idea had been thrown out earlier by Ridley Scott in interviews for Alien, but this was its first entrance into the films. The xenomorph here was almost as graceful and beautiful as it was deadly, containing the sleek head dome that wouldn't be seen again until Alien 3 and Covenant. The way they would slowly approach their prey, the poses they would hold, there was a sense of grace here that the Xeno of the Aliens universe would lack. Here, the Xeno would primarily be an ambush hunter, stalking its prey from the shadows. There is no queen present here for the most part, with the queen in Alien 3 dying upon birth or just before, depending on the version watched. Either way, the aliens we see in these films are not under the influence of a matriarch, beyond the runner not killing Ripley who carries the queen, but it's likely that the runner would have ignored her if she carried a standard Xeno as well. If we include the deleted scenes from Alien, we get a glimpse into egg morphine, a concept even more fitting of the designs of H.R. Giger. The Alien universe is mostly free of military influence, beyond the Weyland-Yutani commandos that show up at the end of Alien 3. Here, all of the encounters with the alien are done by scientists and unsuspecting civilians. This would add even more to the feeling of horror and dread for these films. The space jockey is present here, but only in death, shown as a Cthulhu-like creation of the old gods. The only extraterrestrials known to the humans here are the Xenos and the space jockey, presenting a lonely view of the cosmos. As far as media beyond the films that would fit in here, there isn't that much. Most of the video games fit into the Aliens universe. Alien Isolation would be based in the Alien universe, but the comics that follow it are in a gray area between Alien and Aliens. When looking at the toy department, these would also mostly appear in the Aliens universe, mostly, but the original 1979 Kenner alien is at home here, along with Super 7's reaction and muscle lines. So now we arrive in the Aliens universe, the birthplace of the expanded universe. This is a world that would hold influence from H.R. Giger, yet seen through the eyes of James Cameron. The Aliens universe is enormous. Even though I've only classified Aliens and Aliens Resurrection as belonging to this universe, much of the media beyond the movies is based on aliens. The environment here is a corporate one. When not exploring or even experimenting with alien hives, we spend most of our time here in Weyland-Yutani facilities or those of the USM. James Cameron would add his own touches to the alien, removing the dome from the head and changing other items such as the arms and hands of the Xenos. We would see further changes in Alien Resurrection due to the fact that these aliens were clones from Ellen Ripley and contained some human influences. With the Queen introduced and strongly present in these films, the aliens would behave much differently, putting the hive and the wishes of the Queen before themselves. Although they would still use ambush techniques, the sheer numbers of the aliens in these situations would allow for more direct methods of attack. Unlike the civilian-centered stories of the Alien franchise, the Aliens universe would be dominated by Weyland-Yutani until the events of Alien Resurrection, where the USM would replace the company as the evil corporate entity. The company was definitely present in the Alien universe, but it took a background role to the main focus of the stories. Here, they are front and center, the main driving force to the films, and especially the other media. There's really no mention of the space jockey here beyond some brief appearances in the comic books and video games. Yet this universe has aliens beyond that of the jockey and the Xeno, showing a more active cosmos. Speaking of the other media, Aliens dominates that area. Almost everything from Dark Horse books or comics is set within Aliens, although I would say Fire and Stone and Life and Death for the prequel universe. And Aliens didn't stop with reading material either. We even got a toy line in the 90s along with the majority of the NECA toy line as well. There is a likely reason for most of the expanded universe stuff to use the Aliens title instead of Alien. The Dark Horse comics came out right after the movie Aliens, so that film was still fresh in the minds of readers. The comics chose to expand on that timeline after that film, so the Aliens title here makes sense. Likewise, the toys needed variants on the Xeno to have different figures to sell, so Aliens made sense here with its sheer numbers and types of creatures, including the Queen. And now for the third and final universe, the prequel universe, which of course includes Prometheus and Alien Covenant. I almost didn't include this in its own space and wanted to originally include it into the Alien universe after all these movies were done by Ridley Scott. Yet when I looked closer at this genre of alien media, I saw aspects of both the Alien and the Aliens universe, a melding of sorts. The environments are a mix of breathtaking beauty along with flashes of H.R. Giger mixed with an early Roman aesthetic. We have both the darkness of Alien and the sterile feeling of Aliens. I would say that both prequels try to follow in the footsteps of the Alien universe, restoring a sense of horror and dread, yet they balance out the effect with the action and faster pacing of Aliens in between the scenes. We have the corporate tones of the Alien series with the company of Weyland Corp and Weyland-Yutani, yet the crews are civilians and scientists. The aliens here are numerous as we're looking into what led to the creation of the xenomorph species. We would begin with the neomorphs and all the different variants on them, up to the proto-xenomorph, an alien similar to the Xeno of Alien, perhaps lacking some of its biomechanical nature. While this world starts with the aliens free of any queen or reproduction methods, it's clear that David is working on a queen during the Alien Covenant Advent short. Here, the space jockey has been shown to be an engineer, and they would play a primary role in Prometheus and to a lesser extent in Alien Covenant. As for the other media tied to this universe, I'd say that the Fire and Stone and Life and Death comics fit in here due to their inclusion of the engineers, along with the Alien Covenant prequel novel. But no other media has been allowed by Fox to incorporate the engineers, the Deacon, or the Neomorph beyond toys, figures, and collectibles. So what do you guys think of my three thematically different alien universes? Again, I know they're all tied together and they all work as one cohesive franchise. I just thought it would be fun to break it all down to see what fits with what thematically. Do you agree with my choices here? Or would you break it all up differently? I'd love to hear your thoughts and questions down below.